Okay, what is up, people? Welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone can hear me. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me, by the way. Testing out some new software at the moment, so changing some things up. So yeah, let me know that everything is good on your end. But as always, guys, welcome to another stream. Hope everyone is well. As always, guys, make sure you do drop a like if you are enjoying the content, and also make sure you do subscribe as well if you're enjoying the content, finding it useful. It really does help out the channel. Of course, make sure you check out the Discord channel. Let me drop that over. Ooh, I'm still learning my way with things, so bear with me for probably the next few days. But yeah, I'll drop the link to that in the chat. There is. So yeah, go check out Discord if you want to join. We'll be discussing ideas there, talking with traders. I'll be sharing my ideas and discuss with you guys as well. So check that out as well. Okay, thank you, Rick, for letting me know. So yeah, guys, welcome back to another stream. So it's been an interesting past few days in the markets. We're seeing some momentum, particularly for yen and dollar. So things are looking exciting. Few pairs are looking very interesting at the moment as well. I'm very interested with some of the yen pairs after the big pullback they've had over the past couple of days. I'm looking to see if I can get some positions to the long side. Also, some dollar pairs are interesting. Still very, very bullish the dollar pairs, and dollar still very, very weak. So I need to wait for some retracements for a few pairs, which we'll go through. But opportunities are looking primed up. We're seeing some momentum now, which is kind of what we've been calling out for a long while. So looking good. But yeah, what's up, William? Welcome to the stream. FX Wolf, good morning. Good morning. Rick, good morning. Manny, good morning. Hope you're well. Market Lions, what is up? Good morning. What's up? Follow the trend. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Showing the link has expired. Okay, and you go sort that out. Yeah, I think the link is in the description as well. If not, I'll sort that out. But I appreciate letting me know. So yeah, any pairs you guys are looking at, feel free to drop it in the chat, and of course we'll take a look. I'm seeing FX Wolf talking about a bunch of yen pairs, so we'll of course get started on that. On those pairs, which I'm interested in as well. William planning a euro yen trade today as well. Okay, so yeah, yen pairs have had some nice pullbacks. Again, for me, it's kind of the just seeing which one is shaped up the best, which one ticks the boxes the best. I've got a few which look good. I'm not really a big fan of CHF JPY because we haven't really come into any area of interest or value. No significant support resistance, no kind of long-term trend line at play. Well, there is one, but we just haven't come into it. So CHF JPY, I'm kind of not really interested in. But again, it's another yen pair, so I do expect it to push high. It's just not one I'll look at. Dollar yen is an interesting place for me. Has come into a longer standing trend line here. I believe there's even another one on the daily chart, something like this as well. So we're coming into a really nice area. And of course, broken resistance turns support here too. So there is some really nice confidence here for dollar yen. And I'm definitely keeping my eyes peeled for some opportunities on the hourly chart, which is where I'll be looking for my entries. At the moment, we're kind of just a little bit sideways and lacking momentum. So what I'm looking for dollar yen is one more push down and then some type of candlestick pattern, engulfing pattern, showing some nice rejection, some nice wicks, like we've done over here, like we've done over there, like we've done over here. So just repeat that essentially, and that's where I'll look for my entry and then try and anticipate a reaction higher. Again, I'll be trading stop loss, potentially could be looking at pushback to the high, but that's best case scenario. Probably looking at a push to some of these areas here, and if we're lucky, it might keep going. But we do have that possibility that yen pairs have just had another pullback to start flying again. So this is really a good opportunity if you're looking for some longer term swing trades. This is a good opportunity to get long. Of course, nothing's 100%, but as traders, we've got to deal with probabilities. For me, the probabilities are still with the bulls here for the yen pairs. So yeah, dollar yen I like. CAD Yen I also like as well. Come back to a nice area of confluence. I like how it's shaping up in the hourly, which I'll touch on in a moment. But as we can see, the market is making the higher lows there as well, consistent with the trend line. Haven't quite tested the trend line yet, but I think we can still spike into that area. So we'll definitely keep an eye out for that. But yeah, as we approach this area, similar confidence to dollar yen as well. I'm looking for price to, if we drop back to the hourly, I'm looking for price to again to spike lower, throw some wicks to the downside, and then I'll look for my entry. Hopefully we can take that to the upside as well with similar targets for the dollar yen trade. So yeah, CAD yen and dollar yen are my favorites. Euro yen looks good as well. Again, with euro, we're a little bit sideways here too. So it's a similar situation as dollar and CAD. I would like to see a move down first before looking for entries, because if I'm going to enter here, a stop loss can't really be here. It can, but it's just a little bit more riskier. And if it's below the wick there, then I run the risk of price having that one more run and getting stopped out as well. So I like to see that move happen first and then jump on the back of that. But it's a similar situation, looking for a move down, then for some buys. Same for dollar yen, same for CAD yen, and pretty much same for all the yen pairs, but just dollar and CAD look the best on the higher time frames for me. Euro yen, we kind of just missed out on this area here. So if Euro yen was just 20, 30, 40 pips lower around this area, then I would be looking at it as well. But yeah, this one equally has a pretty long standing trend line there too. So yeah, again, it's a similar situation for all the yen pairs across the board. They're either all going to go up or they're all going to continue going down. So you don't need to trade all of them and try and find trades and every single yen pair. Just pick the one that looks best to you. Risk to reward looks the best. Entry looks the best, and just go for that one if you're interested in the yen pairs anyway. And pound yen looks good as well. This one's come back into a nice trend line on the high on the 4-hour time frame. The only reason why I'm not really interested with pound yen is because we haven't tested a level of solid resistance or support. So that's the only reason why I'm staying out of that one, because support resistance is a non-negotiable for me. That is a must. Trend lines are great confluence. I love using trend lines, but I need that horizontal support resistance to be there as well, which you can argue there is some because price is throwing wicks there, but nothing of real significance for me, at least compared with CAD yen and dollar yen as well. New Zealand yen's a bit awkward. I'm not really a fan of this one. Broken some structure there, so I'm not the biggest fan of that. Aussie yen, similar situation with Swiss yen. We've had a nice move down, just haven't come into any real area of interest for me. So summary, dollar yen, CAD yen, the ones I'm interested in. Maybe euro yen as well. If it comes a little bit lower, potentially you could still see a hit of that level. So I'll keep an eye out for that. But at the moment, CAD and dollar come to some interesting areas. William 171 900-ish. 171 900. Okay, so that's just around that wick low there. So yeah, generally speaking, this is the area to enter. The important thing as well would be where you put your stop loss as well. That'll be very, very important. Because who knows, potentially you still got another drop for the yen pairs. That is not off the cards. But what I do like about the yen pairs, though, is all of these wicks. That's a really, really good sign the market's struggling to push lower, and we could be finding support to push higher. If the market was still seeing really strong closes to the downside, I'll be a bit more apprehensive buying the yen pairs. But because we're seeing really nice rejection in the 4-hour with the wicks, and we're seeing that pretty much across the board for all of the yen pairs. So that gives me confidence that, okay, we are possibly bottoming out and getting ready for a move higher. So yeah, I do like what I'm seeing with the yen pairs. FX Wolf. Yeah, I'll do that after the stream. When I start closing the stream, I'll try and generate a new link because I don't want to go off the stream now and go and do that. But yeah, after the stream, worst case scenario. I mean, I'll put it in. It's in the FX Wolf. If you're in the Telegram group, which I'm sure you would be. Yeah, if you're in the Telegram group, there's a link to the Discord in the Telegram group. But Worst case scenario, I'll put a new link at the end of the stream. Or worst case scenario, there will be a link tomorrow. Okay, so where was we? Euroseat Chef shorts. Okay, we'll take a look. Aoife. Eric. Yes, we did talk about BTC. Okay, long for 57K. Nice. Yeah, Bitcoin did have a really big push to the upside as well. What's up, Malazar? Welcome to stream. Good morning. Yeah, Bitcoin did make a pretty big move. We're talking a lot about Bitcoin not yesterday, last week. And we shot to the upside pretty aggressively. Again, Bitcoin come into a really nice area of that descending channel there. If I draw out these lower highs, as we can see from the high there to the high there, and then take it down to the low, we spiked into that lower end of the channels. And channels are really, really reliable patterns in the market, especially when we're seeing impulsive legs and the market starts to correct. They do really hold their own. I like using a company with support and resistance, but they're good kind of parameters to look at in terms of how far we can pull back or not. Of course, nothing's 100%, but they're definitely a good thing to look at. But yeah, we've come back to the low end of this channel here with respect to the low, and also just about this support level here as well, which was the prior low. But the key thing is we spiked down really aggressively. So I got a feeling that would have shaken out a lot of people in the market. And now we're kind of seeing the follow through of that. But yeah, it's a really strong move from Bitcoin. I think Ethereum's looking not as bullish, but seeing some upside. But yeah, it's a really strong move from Bitcoin. So I think if you're not really in a position down here, the boat's kind of sailed. Trains left the station sort of situation here. Unless we come back down again, which we could do, we could easily double bottom before pushing up. But at the moment, there's a lot of momentum for Bitcoin, and potentially, this could take us all the way back to the higher end of the channel, and maybe a breakout as well. So definitely keep a close eye on Bitcoin. It came to a nice area where I do expect to see momentum come from, because we had a massive impulse here. So this, to me, just looked like a big correction. So naturally, you expect a continuation after that. So Bitcoin does have that possibility, that capability to break out again and maybe see another bull run. And we're coming from a nice place for that as well. So yeah, Bitcoin's looking really strong, looking really, really strong. The only worry I have is that we are just still kind of rejecting that high there. Yeah, which makes things a little bit awkward, but yeah, the buys down there didn't really matter too much according to that high. Now we just need to see if price is going to break it or not, because we could push up again and could come straight back down for another swing. So that is a possibility as well. We're not out the woods yet in terms of a big bull run, but yeah, Bitcoin is definitely looking very bullish now. So I will go through my watch list. Okay, I'll go through pound Aussie first, and then I'll take a look at my watch list. Okay, so sells around 1.92. So following high. Okay, so yeah, I don't really like pound Aussie. I was looking at it over the weekend. Not really a big fan of the pair at the moment. By the way, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, finding it useful, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe as well. And make sure you do hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. It does really help out the channel. But yeah, with pound Aussie, we did bounce from a really nice level on the higher time frame. So this level here, we were discussing in a lot of detail. Well, last week anyway, really big level here at 1.895. Prices come into this area a few times, and we did see a really nice reaction there to the upside. So my thought process with pound Aussie last week was looking for price to come into this region here. It's not really a specific price point, but just generally kind of this area here. In fact, if I kind of clone that, yeah, so generally in this area here is what I'm looking for pound Aussie to come into, because we've been very, very consistent with the lower highs. We've had one over there, second, third, fourth. So now that's the area I'm expecting price to come into. Now we could, of course, break through it, or we could respect it, but the buys from here, this is kind of the move which you'll be looking for. Now is kind of where you're taking profits, sellers are jumping into the market, It's 50-50. Will we break through or will we hold? We have to see how price gets there, how we react, whether the sell makes sense or not. I'll still wait for a little bit more upside, just for price to get a deep and a solid test of this area before looking to short. You said you're already looking to sell around 1.92. Okay, so you're looking for a bit more upside as well. So yeah, I'd wait for price to come a little bit deeper. I mean, generally this area here is a big consolidation, and then we saw a big drop to the downside. So a lot of momentum came from that area, and it's a decent level of supply. You could probably refine it using the low time frames to some areas around there, maybe closer to your 1.92. So that would make a bit more sense there. But generally speaking, this is the area where the market has been pretty consistent with all of those low highs. So yeah, 1.92 for me looks like a nice place for a sell. And best case scenario, we come right back down again. But I think there'll be multiple areas to take profit, before that. I think even coming back to this area here or this area here, and we'll probably create more structure as well. But yeah, that for me is a nice place for a short. So I second that. I'm not a big fan of pound Aussie. It's just a little bit choppy, corrective, but I like the idea. Okay, nice. Good to hear, Sibonello. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Hope you're well. Any markets you're looking at, let us know. I will go through my watch list. Okay, you find his drawing using the Telegram link. Okay, good. Yeah, so, my apologies with the Discord link. I'll generate a new one for the next stream. Yeah, AUD pound looking very, very strong. I think that's why you kind of get a bit of a doji there, equaling each other out. But pound USD is still flying last time I checked. Yeah, still looking really strong. Aussie dollar, not as much, but it's definitely strong this morning anyway. But yeah, pound USD is just flying. This was a really big breakout last week, and it's just pushed on. I mean, I still expect it to go a lot further, back to 1.315. So in my book, we're kind of only halfway there, really, even though it's been such a big move. Still got another 150 pips to go. But yeah, it's been a colossal move for pound USD. Pound strong, dollar really weak. That's a recipe for bullishness here. All I want to see is just a good pullback. We've got some structure back down here. A test of that area would be nice. I'm not expecting a deep pullback because the market is displaying so much momentum still. But I do think there is room for a decent pullback. Find some areas around here and look for a higher low. But even this morning, price has decided it wants to push up still. I'm not going to try and follow that move. Number one, pullbacks not enough for me. And number two, you've got the high just right above us there. So I'm hoping pound USD runs that momentum. Nice retracement this week. And we find a buy to take it back up. And that's really the plan I have for a few dollar pairs. Aussie dollar, likewise that as well. This one's a bit more corrective, so I have a bit more hope that we'll get a pullback sooner rather than later. And look for some buys. Euro USD, I like the idea. It's just in a bit of an awkward area. Coming back into the resistance here. But equally, I think we'll probably get a pullback and a big push. I'll look at the DXY, or I'll go over the DXY in a moment. USD CAD, still waiting for the break of the range, which is taking its sweet time. So this one, not really in my watch list, but once it does break, then I will add it. New Zealand dollar, not interested. Silver, gold, interested in both of them. Silver, we've been a little bit corrective. We had a really bearish move on Friday, which I kind of like because the market's kind of taking a bit of a breather. And it's giving me a deeper retracement, which I do like. So if the market can have one more spike lower, then I'll be looking to buy. I'm kind of looking at this area here. So that would be a nice little move down, test that support around 30.25, looking for that next higher low. And yeah, hopefully I can long it back to the resistance here. And if I'm really lucky, then maybe back to the high. But yeah, silver definitely on the watch list, looking really good. Hope you can get one move down than the buy. Gold, similar situation as well. I like the move we had last week, but I would like to see a deeper move this week, maybe taking out this low here. Again, a similar kind of bull flag opportunity, something like this. Another move back to the lower end, maybe spiking into this area. And that to me looks like a really nice buy on the hourly chart as well. So it's a similar move for gold and silver, just one will move down and then looking for the buy. And I was liking dollar CHF as well this week, but the signal came at midnight 1 a.m. So I kind of missed that opportunity to short. But I'm very, very bearish on the dollar, and I'll go over the DXY in a second. But I'm looking for USDCHF to come back to that low. We had this nice trend line keeping us with these lower highs here. So 1, 2, 3. Then the market started to create some bearish structure here with the high, with the low, with the high, with the low. So again, looking for another lower high, for another lower low. So my plan this week was looking for a move up, back to resistance, find a sell. Nice bearish engulfing just occurred outside of my trading hours, but we've seen a really nice move to the downside. So maybe if we have one more push up, I'll look to take the trade, but it's just if we'll have that push up or not. And that's kind of how I'm looking at the dollar pairs this week. Euro CHF, Kelly, I completely forgot. I'll take a look at that one. What's up, Alex Hub? Welcome to the stream. Okay, cheers, William. Yeah, what's up, Alex Hub? Welcome to the stream. Kingsley, what is up? I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Ustizar, okay, we'll take a look at Ustizar. Hey, what's up, More? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Just back from the dentist. No problem, man. Hope you are good. Simbanello, DXY, yes, I'll go take a look. Major level support. Yeah, I mean, I'm bearish. I think we will likely break through. I'll quickly go through DXY, and then I'll go through Euro CHF before I keep Kelly waiting any longer. But yeah, with the DXY, I am definitely bearish from this one, expecting more downside. The only dilemma, the situation is that we're testing major support right now, but I do think it will break. I do think it will break. Of course, I could be wrong. We'll see if it breaks or not. But I do think it will, because the market had a really corrective move higher, and all it did was just form another lower high. So that's telling me that if the buyers really wanted to continue this trend, probably would have at least tested the high, or most likely continued and made a new high. The fact we formed a lower high and came back down a lot stronger than this move tells me the bears are really coming back into play. So I do expect us to break and eventually push lower. So that's why I'm expecting the break of support. But of course, we'll wait for it to really happen. But yeah, I am expecting more downside this week. I haven't really checked out the news for the rest of the week. I'll do that in a moment. But yeah, from a technical perspective, I do think we'll see more USD weakness. But of course, we'll see what the fundamentals have in store. Okay, so I'll go through Euro CHF before I forget. I think I've missed out another pair from somewhere. USDZAR, yeah, USDZAR. And there's probably another pair I've forgotten to look. So if that's the case, just drop it down in the chat and we'll take a look. But yeah, Euro CHF. This one's been a bit awkward. I was looking to sell it last Friday, but it just became really too corrective, and I didn't see anything meaningful in terms of the hourly price action to get me short. And it came out of a loss anyway, because the market just kind of correctly pushed high as well. So waiting for a solid entry signal is really important, because that's the catalyst for the trade. If the market is just corrective, then it's not really saying much. But I am still looking for a short for Euro CHF. As we approach this area here, we've had a really nice extended move higher from this low. So I don't think this is a pullback. This here is a pullback of that leg. I think we're probably going to push higher like the rest of the CHF pairs. But I think we've come into an area and had a big enough move where we can at least react, see some downside. Then yeah, price maybe will form a higher low and decide it wants to continue higher. But this move here can still be worthwhile and still still could be very, very profitable. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for Euro CHF. And what I want to see is some meaningful momentum. At the moment, kind of just slowly pushing up in this channel here. So what would be nice is another move higher and a really nice rejection there. Because at least at this point I got a safer stop loss. And if it's a big enough candle, big enough rejection, then that could be what send us to the downside and start giving us that follow through. If not, at least get us to break even so we can protect the trade. If it does come up, we walk away for break even. If it does get the follow through, fantastic. There's a long way down. Potentially back to the lower end of this. Could be looking at nice 1 to 3, 1 to 4 maybe. So I do like Euro CHF, decent level, looking for sells and looking to put a stop loss above the high. But yeah, I don't think we'll go too far looking at the daily chart and what the other CHF pairs are doing. I think we'll probably just maybe move a quarter of the way down, maybe a third of the way down, and try and push up. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm looking at with Euro Swiss. We'll take a look at USD for Kingsley. Yes, we'll take a look at Euro USD as well, William, no problem. You're never disappointed. What, Euro USD as well? More? Or just Euro yen? So yeah, with USD ZAR, what's been cooking with this one? I haven't really been keeping an eye on USD ZAR. Okay, so still a very bullish market, although we're becoming more and more corrective as time continues. Anyway, so yeah, with USD ZAR, I'll still be bullish because that's just the general direction of the market, at least in the high time frames anyway. So I like this area for a buy, since we saw a really strong reaction here. This for me is our price swing low. This swing low created the high. This is the daily chart. So swing low create the high. So technically speaking, as long as we stay above this area here, that indicates to me the market is still most likely bullish and going to continue higher. Yeah, as long as we stay above that high there, I'm still bullish. Dropping to actually this is the weekly chart. I thought it was a daily. So as long as we stay above that on the weekly chart, we're still long-term bullish. Looking at the daily chart, you probably can get away with some sells actually. It depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for a longer-term swing, then I'll stick with the buys. But if you're looking for a short, which could last maybe a day or two or three, then if we come a little bit higher, that looks like a nice place for a short, because the market has been so consistent with all of these lower highs. We had equal highs there, and then the market started forming these lower highs. We haven't taken out this low yet, so not really confirmed, but it definitely is lower than that one. So I would say if we come back to that region again, you're naturally going to be looking for another short as we approach this kind of area of support resistance. So I'll be waiting for a bigger swing back to around 18.5 and then seeing what type of reaction we get when we get there. And maybe things could look good for a sell. And again, that could last maybe a day or two or three, and then we go from there. But this is a nice area for a short. But yeah, longs will look good from there. But that's the weekly chart, so it's going to take a while to set up. But I do like that idea there for some shorts. Okay, so we'll take a look at Euro USD. Didn't like USD, didn't like the way it moved. Yeah, I mean, well, compared to the yen pairs anyways, it's going to be a lot more slower. I like Euro USD because it doesn't really have too many like erratic moves or unexpected moves. Price action is pretty sensible over there, and it's pretty sensible over there. It's the most traded pair, so it's generally safer as well. We're not going to see too crazy moves. It's difficult to blow your account unless you're just gonna completely over leverage yourself. with Euro USD. So I like it because it's nice and sensible. But of course, if you're looking to really catch a move, it's not going to give you big ones. It will from time to time, but not as much as the yen pairs or gold will do. Even some of the cross pairs as well. But I like it because it's pretty sensible. But anyway, Euro USD, I mean, as of late, it's been really corrective. So not the best price action, I must say. But anyway, we're coming back into some major resistance right now with Euro USD. I do think we're likely to break this level because the way I'm looking at it is we're back at resistance here, major level of daily resistance. Same thing with the DXY, major level of daily support. So I think they're both just coming into a similar area. I think both of them will break it. I'm favoring DXY to break that. I'm kind of expecting Euro USD to do the same with its own level of resistance there as well. Because the way I'm looking at Euro is we have this really long-term descending channel here. We connect the highs up to the lows. So we've been in this descending channel. I think you can just ignore that. There's a bit of a fake out there. But we've been in this channel for quite a while. So it's either price is going to continue its move in this channel and come right back down, or it's going to go for a breakout finally and see a continuation. Because what we could be seeing here is a big impulse, correction, and now we're going to see the continuation. Sort of like what's happening with Bitcoin as well. So the way I'm looking at Euro USD here is if we do see a solid break of that resistance and outside of that channel, we are going to see that continuation. And why I think that's likely to happen is because if you look at pound USD, which is a very similar pair to Euro, pound USD has already made that move. It's already confirmed to us that we've broken out of that range, broken out of that resistance, and we're likely going to continue higher, back to that high. So I think we're kind of seeing the same situation with Euro USD as well. Pound USD, we're in this channel here. Price is broken out to the upside. I think Euro USD is just lagging behind it a little bit. And then we could be looking at a move back to the high over there. 1.11034. So yeah, that's what I'm favoring for Euro USD. Not confirmed yet, of course, because we haven't broken out the range, broken out the high. But that's where I do see Euro USD heading towards, and especially if DXY gives us that break of that low there as well, key support. It looks like we're breaking out the channel, which I think we've already broken out the channel with that move there as well. So that's kind of done and dusted. But if we can break that support as well, that'd be fantastic. And then maybe see a continuation to the low. Again, this is me thinking a little bit out loud, not 100% yet because we haven't even broken out on Euro. But that's kind of what I'm expecting longer term for the dollar. But yeah, let's get the breaks first, and then we can be a bit more confident with that. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for Euro. I think intra-week, intra-day, because that's a bit more longer term. I would be looking at pullbacks. I highlighted this area here on my weekly analysis. Brief area consolidation, really healthy breakout momentum. A pullback to this area would make a lot of sense for a buy. And just keep it simple, back to the high. No need to overthink it. Yes, there's a lot of room to the upside, which we just highlighted. But at the same time, we still have resistance here. We could still reject it. And we definitely could still come right back down. So there is that possibility. But this area looks really nice to me. Strong impulse, brief consolidation, another strong impulse. So we can see a correction there. Maybe price does respect this area. And it does come back down. I think that's a nice place for a buy. Just take it back to where we came from, 1.09. So that's the setup I'm looking at for Euro. But let me know what you guys are looking at for Euro USD as well. But to me, that makes the most sense. No problem, Kingsley. Happy to help. Okay, going into buys if we break structure and buy. Okay, on the retest. So if we break the high here, I assume you're looking for a retest above it. That makes perfect sense as well, and correlates the dollar quite nicely. So I'll be looking at something similar once we get the break. Again, whether we do, we'll have to wait and see. We might not. If not, I'll consider that. If we break through, of course, we've got a nice level above us there as well. But yeah, I'm focused on riding momentum. And it looks like momentum is picking up with the bulls. And yeah, and pound USD is doing that in abundance right now. So looking at some pullbacks for that one too. And hopefully some buys at some point this week. But this is a really, really nice move. This is what I like to see. This is when I get my really nice trades, when we see really nice impulses and we get a correction of that. Yeah, normally they give really nice swings, which we had a lot of last year. Yen pairs were doing that a lot last year. Dollar pairs did that a lot last year as well. Um, so yeah, now we're seeing that momentum again. Yeah, that's beautiful stuff. Okay, stay long 400, 500, 600. Yeah, that's big, big, big pips. Yeah. Again, the pips I'm looking for on my trade is like 40, 50 pips to 150. Potentially could be higher. It does depend on my entry. If I have a really wide stop loss, like 80, 100 pip stop loss, which I sometimes do when the market's a bit volatile and the candlesticks are just wide in range, then I could look for like maybe a 300 pip move. But yeah, what I'm after is like the 50 to 150, depending on the pair. But yeah, if you're looking for 400, 500, 600, yeah, you will struggle with that on euro, or at least it will take a long, long time for you to get that. Um, yeah, because I don't think even the range for euro this year is even 400 or 500 pips. Let me see. We topped out around there. Okay, yeah, so 437 pips. That's the widest Euro USD has been this year. 437 about. So yeah, you would struggle to find those moves. Okay, yeah, yeah. Gold, of course, gold is packed with pips. You'll find 400, 600 pips of gold. Yeah, 100 times easier than with Euro USD. Anyway, I forgot to finish off my watch list. So, in terms of the dollar pairs, like I said, pound USD looking at buys in the pullback, Aussie dollar looking at buys in the pullback, silver looking at buys in the pullback, and gold looking at buys in the pullback. Two yen pairs I like: dollar yen and CAD yen. Both are trading at some nice levels of support and resistance. We got the prior high here on on CAD yen, which we've come into, and dollar yen likewise as well. We'll come into that same area there too. So for me, they're both coming to some really nice of confluence. They've got some long-term standing trend lines, which I pointed out earlier in the stream as well. So we're coming into some really nice areas on the higher time frames as well. So dollar yen buys, CAD yen buys as well. I really like. EuroCAD I like. This was the bonus pair this week. I'm looking for EuroCAD to come back to the high here, which it's not too far away, unfortunately, and it might just go and hit that level. I was hoping we could see some type of pullback this week, even to this area here. That would be nice, but we had a big level of resistance here, which I was hoping we can come back to, which we still could. But I'm looking for EuroCAD to do something like this and then be on its way. So EuroCAD's on the watch list. Pound NZD's on the watch list as well. This one looks like it's breaking that resistance too. Yeah, so pound has just been very, very, very strong. Look at pound NZD there. Humongous move higher. I do think pound NZD is slowly making its way back to the high over there. So I'm looking for pound NZD to maintain that momentum. And yeah, now that breaking through that high is crazy as well. I mean, I will see how the daily candle closes, because at the moment the candle's still live and we could still definitely wick back. We've got 11 hours before that candle closes. We could still definitely wick back. So I'm not going to buy into it just yet, but what I can definitely say for sure is that there's a lot of momentum in the market, which is good. I want to see momentum. Now I just want to find a good pullback somewhere and ride that. And we probably will get a pullback between now and that high. Pound NZD doesn't just move in one direction for too long. I mean, it does have some moves, but it generally is quite a corrective pair. So I do expect it to pull back. I'm hoping to find some entries anyway. So yeah, pound NZD longs is on the watch list as well. And then, yeah, I'm looking at Euro CHF as well. So Euro CHF shorts, pound NZD longs, Euro CAD longs, gold, silver longs, Euro Aussie dollar, pound USD longs as well, and dollar and CAD. Ooh, so what happened there? So yeah, those pairs are on my watch list. About 7 or 8. 6 positions from 171. That's around 171. Okay, so that's those are your positions you opened previously. But yeah, I'm looking to get into dollar yen and CAD yen. Those two yen pairs look good to me. I mean, again, the yen pairs are pretty similar across the board, but in terms of confidences, they sit up the best for me. Buy it again and again. Yeah, I love that attitude more. Yeah, at this point, that's the same kind of outlook I have with the yen pairs. I mean, regarding like dollar yen and CAD yen, um, I'll be bullish until we break some structure. So this low here for dollar yen, CAD yen, to be this low here. If we go and break that low, then from a technical standpoint, that does put me off. Actually, doesn't put me off. It just makes me not looking to buy the pair. I wouldn't probably sell it. Depends how things look. But if you do go and break that low, that does ruin the technicals for me a little bit. Okay, so we'll take a look at CAD CHF as well, Rick. Yeah, 171,900 is not a bad place, William. I think we'll see what price does as the day goes on, because at the moment the yen pairs are kind of just moving sideways. So I think they're waiting for something. I mean, kind of just moving sideways here, so I'm not too sure what price is trying to do. And we had a bit of a wick here, uh, 9 a.m. London session. So I do like that, and that could springboard us higher. But what would be nice, what would I would like would be another push down first, and then try and find some entries off the back of that. Because buying here, we could definitely just come right back into the high and push straight back down first. But in terms of finding like a nice pinpoint entry, it would be nice if price can push one more time like we did with these wicks. See that fourth push, if that is not too much to ask, and then hopefully can find some entries off the back of that. Problem with Canada. Oh, what's going on with Canada? I mean, I just like CAD because of its technicals. I mean, if it said sub, I'll take the position. Worst case scenario, I'll take a loss and I'll move on. But I'm also looking at dollar yen as well, and that one looks equally good with the technicals too. So it'll be one of those two which I'll take the trade on. Yeah, worst case scenario, I'll walk away with a small loss. And the same here with dollar yen. I'm seeing a lot of sideways movement. I need that to kind of fix itself up there. If you can see another spike lower, fantastic. And then I'll catch a buy. Although saying that, yeah, buying dollar yen, even though I have a pretty weak bias on dollar, doesn't sound the best. But really, what I'm trading here is just the yen weakness. It just depends which currency pair you're trading it with, which will entail how successful the trade is. If you trade the strongest pair against the weakest pair, then of course that trade is going to really rally. If you trade a weak currency versus another weak currency, then it's not going to really move much. But if the yen is just weaker, then it'll still go higher, just not as much. I've got a feeling that might be the situation I will have with dollar yen, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, euro's been pretty strong, pound's been pretty strong. So I think on paper, euro yen and pound yen probably make the most sense in terms of strong currency to a weak currency. Maybe Aussie yen a little bit because that one's been a bit strong this morning. But I think euro and pound have been pretty strong for definitely pound anyway. Has been pretty strong for a while. So they probably make the most sense in terms of strong and weak currencies. Okay. Wow, that is that is some discipline there more. Don't look at your positions until 1 week or a few weeks after. That's impressive. I mean, I know with you, you're a little bit more laid back in terms of you'll find the area to enter, and then you have that kind of longer term bias of what you expect in that market to do. So there is no point of you trying to look at that trade every single minute of every single day or whatever, because you're just going to be seeing the random fluctuations of the market, and that would just make everything stressful. You want to take that trade. You know that in the next few weeks you're expecting bullish or bearish movement, and then you want to sit and hold back for that. So I fully understand that. For me, I'm a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more active. So with me, I have very small stop losses. Well, not very small, but smaller stop losses. So the entries I take, I kind of want to see momentum in my favor instantly. And if I don't really see that, then I would imagine my stop loss is probably going to get hit, and I'll look for another entry somewhere. But for me, because I've got electronic stop loss as well, I don't really look at my trade that much. I set alerts on TradingView. I will have a look at my trade maybe every few hours, every 4 hour candle sometimes. But yeah, not 1 week or a few weeks. But again, you're looking for a lot more pips than me. I'm looking for like 50 to 150. What's up, Jacob? Welcome to the stream. Hope you are well. Can't see each other. We'll take a look at Rick. But yeah, it really does depend on what you're looking for from the market. If you're looking to ride trends, then you want to take your approach in terms of holding holding back and just letting the market do its heavy work. But if you're going to be a bit more active, then of course you have to be more active in the charts. And if you're looking for smaller ranges. But yeah, in terms of CAD CHF, let me know your bias, what you're looking to do with CAD CHF. Yeah, CAD CHF did come into a nice area. We were talking about some sales last week. We came back again. Excuse me. We came back again last week, had a nice reaction. Yeah, I think that ship's kind of already sailed. Let me know what you're trying to do with CAD CHF, because next area of value for me would be as we approach these areas here, we might see a bounce higher. I like the fact that we're quite corrective, so we could push down and see a reaction back up again. Long term, I'm still pretty bearish on CAD CHF, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a move back to the low here, since we've been printing these lower highs and the market has still respected that. So we could just see price naturally take another dive to the downside again. So yeah, that's long term what I'm looking for. But if you're looking for a trade, I think you should already be in the sells if you were looking to sell. If not, this is more bullish territory as we approach 0.654. But it might just be a shorter term move up for price to then continue back down again. Something like this as we create those lower highs. So if you're looking for some buys, I'll keep around 0.654. Nice reaction there. Could hold, of course, see how we react before entering. If you're looking for sells, then you want to see price retrace again and form another lower high. Because effectively, kind of really want to be in the trade and not trying to enter some shorts now. Unless you're scalping for a few pips here and there, then of course that could make some sense if you want to be in and out of the market really quickly. But if you're looking for a swing, then you kind of want to wait for price to push up higher. But yeah, that's kind of how I'm looking at CAD CHF. But yeah, that longer term view still looks to be intact. No worries, more. You're not taking over the stream, mate. We'll appreciate your comments. But yeah, hopefully that made sense on CAD CHF. New Zealand CHF we'll take a look at as well. And yeah, if you guys are enjoying the stream, by the way, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. It really does help out the stream, of course. I appreciate everyone who has liked and subscribed so far. It does really help out the channel. And of course, hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future, because you will be notified. So yeah, make sure you go and do that. But yeah, New Zealand CHF on the daily, okay. Okay, how today's is bear. Okay, well, I'll go take a look at New Zealand CHF. Are you looking to trade it on the daily, or are you just looking at the daily in terms of a bias? Follow the trend. Thoughts on the Aussie New Zealand dollar? Okay, we'll go take a look at that one. Yeah, that one had a lot of bullish momentum last week. I haven't seen if it broke now. I don't really look at AUDNSD. Haven't really looked at it in detail for a while, but I will go through it. Okay, so New Zealand CHF. So you said on the daily chart, bullish engulfing. I'm not really seeing bullish engulfing on the daily chart. Are you talking about the bullish engulfing over here? Because there is none here. That would be a bearish engulfing over there. Unless you're talking about the weekly time frame. Don't know if you're talking about that candle there. Yeah, please clarify that, Jacob, so I can answer you properly. But yeah, we had a really strong rejection about 3-4 days ago with that move there, as price came back into this swing point. So high, potentially a lower high. And if we crack through this support here, which is what was stalling price a little bit last week, then we're probably on a one-way ticket back down to that low at 0.54139. So that's kind of what I'll be looking at for New Zealand CHF. In terms of a good sell, I like to see price show me some momentum below that and then try and find the next wave for a short. That would make a lot of sense, and probably target this low here. But at this moment in time, if I just clean the chart up, come on now. Okay, it's taken. So yeah, as we can see, we do have these lower highs. So 1, 2, and this will be a third, or potentially a third. The market is still moving in this descending structure here. So there's a good chance we're going to push back to the low. Very, very good chance we're going to push back to the low. And certainly if we wait for that support, I'd say it's very, very high. We do get back to that low. In terms of the daily chart, it's just a lot of dojis. I get more information from the full hour. Yeah, I would get more information from the full hour. but I'm not seeing the bullish engulfing you're talking about, unless you're talking about here. But then that bullish engulfing has kind of really done its job, really. Now it looks like the market is shifting phase. So yeah, I'd keep an eye on that support, and below that could be some really nice sell opportunities back to the low. Phronesis, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Hope you well. US 30, Nasdaq. We'll take a look. S&P. Okay, we'll go through some indices. We haven't looked at indices yet. But let me quickly go through Aussie, New Zealand dollar. So asking about some sales. Monthly, daily coming to good resistance. Okay, so let me have a look. See. From a monthly perspective, I'll be getting excited for the buys actually, because the way I'm looking at it is price has broken out of this descending. It's not really descending channel, is it? It's more like a triangular pattern, really. Forget the name of them. But the market's kind of squeezing with these lower highs over here and the equal lows down here. And we finally broke out to the upside, and it looks like price has come back for a successful retest of that same trend line. And to me, it looks like price is now finally breaking out of this consolidation, which has been for like 2 years. Yeah. So it looks like it's finally breaking out of that consolidation. And if that's the case, there's a good chance we're probably coming back to the high there, in my book, for Aussie New Zealand dollar, which basically translates to this resistance here. So major resistance 1, 2, possibly 3 as well. The fact is we're forming these higher lows, 1, 2, and now a big 3 over there. So if we see a solid monthly close like this in the next 16 days, because we're only halfway through the month, so who knows, this candle could look a lot different. We're still kind of trading in resistance, so I do agree with that. And this could still end up being a big wick by the end of the month, so that would change a lot of things. But if the monthly candle closes like this, then I do expect for the remainder of the year, pretty much, us to slowly make our way back to the high. So I would anticipate a lot more momentum, and that's kind of what I'm waiting for Aussie New Zealand dollar. I'm waiting for a big breakout. I'm waiting for momentum. So I don't really want to be just shorting the highs and the lows. But yeah, this is essentially the level which price looks like it's trying to break through. I wouldn't say it's confirmed yet. Still haven't had a solid weekly close. Still haven't a solid monthly close above it. So I'm not really confirming that it's broken through. And I think this is the level of resistance you're referring to. So yeah, I'll still kind of be 50-50 for breaking through or not, because candle closures kind of paint the picture for me. But at the moment, it looks like price is trying to break through. And if we sustain this momentum, then I would say we have broken the level. But if you're looking for a short, then I want to see some signs of big rejection, which we were kind of seeing Thursday, Friday. Bit of a wick there, bit of a wick there. But today's looking pretty bullish. I don't know, maybe by the end of the day, we pull back again and form a nice bearish engulfing candle. If we do something like that, then yeah, fantastic. Shorts the following days will look good, and we can probably see some nice downside. So this really is a big make or break area. Big make or break area for Aussie New Zealand dollar. Like I said, the long term looks good for the buys, but just not confirmed yet. Not confirmed yet. We could still, because at one point these two candlesticks here on the daily were looking bullish as well, but they pull back. So maybe this could do it as well. And then if we see a strong shift, then yeah, I'll be favoring the sells. I just need to wait and see what price does. Okay, yeah, happy that made sense. Okay, so we'll go through some indices. So indices were very bullish. Yeah, look at that, US 30 just gone and taken out the high here. Yeah, indices were very, very bullish coming onto Thursday, Friday. What was that, Friday? Yeah, Friday actually. Dollar was quite weak, of course, so that made some sense. But I wasn't expecting US 30 to make a new high already. That was quite surprising. NAS flew to the upside, bit of retracement towards the end, but looking very, very bullish. S&P, same thing. I think that one just took out the highs there. Yeah, it did. So Yeah, indices are still really, really bullish. Really, really bullish. Um, so yeah, I'll start with NAS. So NAS, I was talking about this area as a nice place for a buy. Where is this? 20082. I was talking about this area as a nice place for a buy. We had some nice confidence. I believe we had a trend line in that area, if my memory serves me correctly. I think, yeah, it was on the daily chart. Yeah, so we had a nice trend line in that area as well, which we didn't quite test because we didn't even test the level either, but there was some nice confidence there. So that's kind of where I said, if we can spike into that, that'll be a really nice buy. Unfortunately, it didn't quite happen. I mean, I wouldn't say it can't happen because something like that could definitely be a possibility. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that area just in case we do come back down. But I think if I'm looking at intraday, yeah, I think if we can spike down one more, come back into this consolidation, that could be a really nice buy. If not, we've got the level lower on the 4 hour, which I just mentioned. But I think it depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for intraday opportunities, then that's kind of what makes sense to me. If you're looking for a bit more of a swing, then this level and that confidence makes sense to me as well. Because I just keep expecting high lows to be printed. So that would be the next place I would expect the high low to come through. But yeah, intraday, that looks like a nice place for a buy. And you can see the way we've been pushing up, there's a real lack of momentum as well. So you don't really want to follow this move. It's not looking confident at all. So I would keep an eye on this area here, 2250 and also 2100 as some smart places for buys. But again, the game plan is still looking for buys. Okay, no problem, William. Have a good one, man. See you tomorrow. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for US 100 there. Looking at some pullbacks, retest that consolidation, and a big move higher, all that one area there too. With US 30, kind of a similar situation, but I would like to see a bigger pullback than this one. A bigger pullback for this one, something like this area here, which was an area I was mentioning last week, but of course we didn't see that happen. But yeah, this would be a nice level for a buy, 39,600 to take some buys off that level there. You can see the high lows we've been pretty consistent with. Something like this would be very much appreciated. Then I'll be expecting the market to push higher, take out that high, and maybe some new highs beyond that as well. But yeah, US 30, I would be looking at more upside. Market's still very bullish, daily, weekly, monthly. Everything is still looking really, really bullish to me. So I would just be expecting price to keep pushing higher. S&P, yeah, look at this on the weekly, daily chart, still looking really, really bullish. I would say again, similar situation to NAS. If you can get a move down, that would be appreciated. Because again, you don't want to be buying when the price is already pushed up. Price has already had a bit of a move higher, hasn't had much momentum in it. There's no point trying not to follow that because that move's already stretched, ready to see the move up. You want price to come down for you. And this could be a nice area where buys step back into the market and an area where you can look to find some trades for good execution. So the plan will be still looking to long the indices. I wouldn't look to short them. Of course, maybe like a shorter term trade can make sense, but I wouldn't try and short them. There's so much momentum with the buys. I'll just keep focusing on that. So yeah, I hope that made sense for Nessus for the indices. Hey, what's up, Lauder? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Welcome. So yeah, indices still very bullish. Let me have a quick look at UK 100 whilst we're on the topic of indices. Okay, so that one came back to that kind of trend line area where we're forming these lower highs. So yeah, it just depends on who's going to flinch first, really. With the high, it's either we're going to come back down, collect some buys, and be on our way, or we're just going to just break out and be on our way. Either which way, I'm expecting a swing back to the high there. Again, looking at the higher time frames, the market's been very, very bullish. We have a significant level here, which you could come back and retest as well. That price swing high broke through. Never really had a retest of that level as well. So the way I'm looking at it is that we might have one more move down, take out some lows, test the lower end of the channel, test that major level of support, and then be on our way. Or we might just break out. It depends on price, but yeah, UK 100 still bullish on, and bullish on the DAX as well. Oh, really big move for the DAX. Last time I was looking at the DAX, we were around here somewhere. So that's pretty big move there. Again, looking for a push back to the high. I think, again, if you're intraday, you're looking at some pullbacks, maybe another move down to this area, then a buy. This is where we stalled a little bit. A lot of momentum came after that wick. Big piercing wick to the downside on Friday. Then price flew to the upside. It would be nice if we could see another push to the downside there. Test this area around 18,600. Find some entries and take it back to the high at 89.30. So yeah, indices going forward still look really, really bullish to me. Yeah, inverting that chart looks good as well. Even if you have a deeper pullback as well, I would expect that lower high to form since we've been really consistent with them. Maybe even a retest of this area could happen. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm expecting for the indices. A lot more upside. Yeah, I think I'll start looking to test out and experiment with US 30. Because again, with the indices, it's a different type of market to the FX, not necessarily in terms of the technicals and the way you trade it. It's the exact same thing. But they do move a little bit differently. And of course, their overall direction is just up. Whereas with FX, it's either up, down, or sideways. Really, some FX pairs have just gone sideways for decades. So it's a different ball game. But yeah, I do want to experiment with US 30, see how that goes. And then maybe I could start adding some indices to my watch list. But I've been looking at indices for at least 2.5 years now. So it's not that I'm looking at a completely new market or trading new market completely, but I've just never really traded it actively. So that might need some adjusting to. Anyway, how are CAD and okay, price is seeing a bit of momentum, but it was a solid close there on the hourly chart, but yeah, it's kind of just still within that range. I'm still looking for a move down first before the buy. Dollar not showing much. Yeah. Hoping for one move down first. Maybe if CAD gives me a really solid close, I might take the buy. Depends how it looks. New Zealand yen. New Zealand yen just hasn't come into any area of significance for me. I'm still very bullish on it. Still think we can see a lot more upside, but it just hasn't come to a big level. And yeah, pound yen is just moving sideways in the middle of nowhere. So definitely looking for a big move down. And then hopefully some buys later on. But that is, yeah, not particularly great. But I think pound yen might be the best yen pair to trade if you're looking to buy the yen pairs off this dip, because I think pound just looks the strongest. Of course, it's the strongest now. Things can change, of course. But I'm looking at pound USD. That's got a lot of momentum in it, and I think it will sustain. Of course, it will have its pullbacks, but generally speaking, I think we've seen a massive breakout, and that price is going to be on its way. Pound entity, same sort of thing there. Really big move. Again, probably will have some pullbacks, but I think that momentum will generally sustain back to that high. Pound CHF's had a decent move there too. So almost back at a major high. Pound CAD as well. So pound is definitely very, very strong at the moment in time. So I think on paper, pound yen makes the most sense if you're looking to buy, for a strong currency against a weak currency. But then again, you want to make sure you're getting good entries as well, and you're taking the trade for the right reasons, not just because you believe a currency is going to be strong. I mean, it depends. I mean, everyone has their own reason for taking a trade. There's no right or wrong reason, as long there's edge there, and there's edge because it's tried and tested. So that's the only kind of right decision to make, to do, or to make. But for me, I need a good technical entry for a trade. And right now, pound yen, not really looking good on the hourly. Just moving sideways. So if it does push down, I'll consider it. It's just not trading at any major level of support resistance. We've got this nice trend line here on the daily chart, which looks good. Price is holding a support. Good chance we'll form another higher low. Just not really liking the entries. But I don't know, things will change. Let me quickly take a look at the news because I haven't actually done that yet. We had some nice momentum last week. And to be honest, I'm not really looking for any big news because we've already had some nice momentum. So now I'm just waiting for pullbacks. So maybe even big news is probably not what I even want to see, actually. But today you've got some USD news, manufacturing index 130. Not sure how much that's going to affect the market, but it's definitely something to note. We've got a Powell speech later at 5:30 UK time. And that could move the market a bit. Tomorrow, retail sales for dollar as well, same time on 30. Got pound inflation rate, CPI for euro, building permits dollar, pound employment, euro, jobless claims. Yeah, so really not anything major this week. There's definitely some news that will move the market 100%. CPI for euro, I think CPI for pound, jobless claims. So we will see a bit of movement, but nothing too crazy this week, which is good because then I can just focus on the price action. But like I said, I'm not really looking for any big news this week anyway, because we already had a really big move. We had a really big move last week. So now I'm waiting for price to kind of settle, pullbacks and buys. So at the top of my watch list is definitely pound USD with silver and gold, I would say. I think silver is the closest to a possible entry. Gold is trying to rally. I'm looking for something like this on gold. Nice big bull flag pattern. Come back, test this area. Hopefully get a buy. Silver, looking at something similar. Another move down and some buys later on. Retesting some key support. Hopefully you can find some entries off the back of that. Aussie dollar is just really corrective. I'm not trying to get involved in that. What price to kind of break out, see some downside, and then get a pullback at some point. Have no idea what ends the USD is trying to do, so I'm just kind of ignoring this pair for the meantime. Not really moving too well. Don't really have a directional bias for it either as well. I think naturally I would be bearish, but we have been moving sideways for quite a while. That momentum's kind of died out. Our last move to the downside in the daily chart was really corrective, which is not a good sign either. So I'm kind of just waiting for NZD-USD to show me its card, show me its hand, and then I'll start to look to trade it. I mean, Aussie dollar looks really bullish, and I'm very bullish on that pair. I only want to be looking to buy. And Aussie dollar is a similar pair to NZD-USD, so I do expect them to trade in similar directions. So normally my bias for Aussie dollar is the exact same for New Zealand dollar. Very, very rarely I would have opposing biases. Is that the right word? Biases? Bias, I don't know. But you know what I mean, for Aussie dollar and New Zealand dollar. And in fact, if I do have opposing biases for both of them, I probably just wouldn't trade it because the correlation isn't right. But NZUSD is just ranging, so I'm kind of just neutral. But Aussie dollar looks very clear to me. Try and trade it back to the high. Euro, I like it. Wow, is Euro making a new high? Yes, we are. So yeah, Euro is quite strong as well. Is DXY breaking support? It's trying to. So yeah, we got really key support this week. If that support breaks, I feel like dollar's got a long, long way to go back to the downside. If that support breaks, because then I feel like Euro USD will break the resistance as well, and that will be a huge catalyst for us outside of this channel here. And USDCHF is melting. Looks like I've missed the move for this one then. Was looking for that double top this week. Happened so quickly though. We're trading down here. 2-3 candles to the upside. Price already trading at the high. Nice entry signal at 1 a.m. Was that midnight? No, that would be 2 a.m. And then a really nice move to the downside. And again, USDCHF doesn't really normally move during the Asian session anyway. But today it did. Today it did. So we'll wait to see what we do because we might push up again. If we do, I'll keep an eye for that. Try and catch the high like that and write it down, but most likely not going to get that move. And Eurocad is looking really bullish. This is another one on my watch list. This is actually the bonus pair from the weekly analysis this week, and I like it. I really do like it. Breaking through some real significant resistance this week. And we've got a major high up there, which I think is our next big target. There is somewhat an uptrend. Somewhat of an uptrend. Maybe that's a bit of a fake out there. One test, second test, third test. Back to that next major high. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for Eurocad. It's just being very, very bullish. I feel like that has been the theme of the market for me a little bit the past couple of weeks. We've been seeing a lot of bullish momentum, just not enough or big enough pullbacks, which happens from time to time. And of course, the opposite will happen as well, where you get some really nice moves, some really good pullbacks, and you're spoiled for choice. That happens as well. And then you have to try and pick the best of the bunch. And I feel like hopefully we've probably got a similar situation to that in the next coming days. Aussie CAD looks rough. To be fair, this one surprised me how bullish it's been. I was not expecting that. I mean, I have no really interest in trading the pair. Got major resistance here on the weekly chart. Could be where it's headed. But I have no interest to trade it. Maybe if the momentum was a bit more convincing, then I'll look to try and look for some pullbacks. But yeah, it's just way too corrective. I think I like the NZD CAD buys a lot better because this one's formed a really nice high low over here, another high low over there. I'm looking for another one in this area. In fact, here to be a bit more specific, looking for another one in that area there as well, and looking to try and take price to the upside as well. So if NZD CAD can get there, I'll be looking to buy it. NZD CAD, Aussie CAD, very, very similar pairs. So yeah, I'll just focus on NZD CAD because it looks better. It's just a waiting game. Is anyone in any trades at the moment? I already know a couple people in some some yen positions. Hopefully I can let you join them soon on CAD yen or euro yen. I mean CAD yen or dollar yen. I mean euro yen looks decent as well. So yeah, maybe that one too if it does pull back a little bit. Just trying to break that range though. So yeah, maybe I can look to join them on CAD or dollar yen. I think the USD pairs look good, but probably for sometime later this week. Same with gold and silver as well. Yeah. But again, that's one of the beauty, one of the good things of having that swing bias, long term bias, is that most of your analysis, doing it on the daily 4 hour time frames means most of your analysis you can do that in one day for the rest of the week or for the next week. As for myself, I do my analysis on the weekend for the week ahead, and it allows me to keep things very, very simple during the week because I'm just kind of staying up to date with all the moves the market's giving me. But I already know what I want to do on each pair and if I want to trade that pair or not, and what the conditions are if I am going to trade it, where I'm looking for my entries, where I'm planning my target, stop losses. So I already know all of that beforehand. Of course, things do change in the week. For example, there's no way I expected the yen pairs to crash like that last week, of course. So, things like that you have to adapt to. But again, you generally know what you're looking to do with the market. And because you're analyzing on the daily 4 hour time frames, you get candlesticks every 4 hours. So it gives you time to prepare. There's only 6 4 hour candlesticks in a day. So only 6 times you get new information during the day. For the daily chart, it takes a whole day to print a candle. You only get 5 new candles during a week. So the information comes to you a lot more slower, steadier, easier to digest. Of course, my entries are on the hourly time frame, which is a bit more fast paced. But yeah, the hourly is the last piece of the puzzle. All the hard work is kind of on the 4 hour on the daily, finding my buys, finding the areas I want to buy from. And then the hourly is just, okay, it's in the area. Now I just need to find my trigger, see if price is actually, likely going to do what I planned it to do. And doing that slows down your trading and makes things a lot simpler. But again, there's no right or wrong way. Scalpers, swing trades, position trades, that all have their kind of own way of looking at things. But the key thing is you have that method, you have that process, and you stick to it. Bitcoin's looking very, very bullish. Ethereum, I wanted to push down, to be honest. I wanted to have one more move down. There was so much confidence down here. Push down in the buy. But Bitcoin looked good anyway. So I think if Bitcoin does its move, Ethereum will just follow behind it anyway. How's XRP doing? Okay, XRP looking interesting. Again, nothing really to write home about. In the grand scheme of things, what does this candle here mean? Not much. Of course, the bullish move has to start from somewhere, but it's not a real big shift of anything really. Come back in some resistance. I'm not going to buy into that too much, but Bitcoin looking good. Bitcoin looking really good. And yeah, I think if dollar does take a dive this week, which I expect it to do, that would just open the floodgates for the indices, the crypto, for the metals, commodities, the dollar crosses, all to push on. Big kind of risk on environment. So that's kind of what I'll be looking to do for the next kind of couple of weeks. Looking to buy gold, looking to buy euro, looking to buy silver. Again, I don't really trade the indices, but if I did, we'd be looking to buy those as well. And if I was looking to trade Bitcoin as well, I'll be looking to buy Bitcoin. No way. That's a good way to look at it. To be fair, more. Didn't you say that you were looking to try and make your money back on Bitcoin? Can't remember if you said that or not. But to be honest, you don't have to. Yeah, if you're doing well on Euro Yen, might as well just focus on Euro Yen and the yen pairs. No need to try and do have another go at Bitcoin. But I feel like if you look into Bitcoin, if you want to keep stress at minimal levels, I think only play with money you can afford to lose and kind of just buy and hold. I think try and trade Bitcoin like you do with an FX pair um, can get quite stressful, given how things can change very, very quickly for Bitcoin. A big fish takes out a bit of money or puts on a bit of money, and the market's flying back and forth. Don't really see that to a larger extent as you would with like Euro USD, for example, or an FX pair. So I think for Bitcoin, you kind of just buy it and forget about it for the next 5 years. I think trying to trade it will be tricky. I think there's easier markets to trade, basically. Okay, no entry before 2025. Okay, wow. It's like playing roller coaster back and forth. Okay, so how far do you want Bitcoin to fall? Um, more. What price are you looking to buy from? I think you said 52, which is this area, which is a nice area, 100%. You almost actually got there as well with that spike. But yeah, I think obviously the idea is the lower you can buy Bitcoin in general, the better, of course. If Bitcoin can fall, 20, 30%, fantastic. If it can fall even further, even better. Because you want to kind of buy and hold and try and forget about the position. Hey, what's up, Ben? Uh, seems to be. Dollar's been pretty weak, so maybe it's weak for the dollar. I don't know. But yeah, we did see some gaps in the market. We did see some gaps over the weekend. Your USD gap to the downside a little bit there. Pound USD gap to the downside. We did see some gaps, but yeah, Bitcoin has been flying. I remember when Trump was tweeting when he was when he was president, um, when he was making his tweets, the market was moving quite crazy. It was almost like Euro USD was a crypto at that point. He'd make a tweet and then the market would just start buzzing back and forth. I wonder if that will happen again. Okay, I want to see 52s before engaging Bitcoin, but we shall see. Yeah, we shall see. Again, in the grand scheme of things, Bitcoin is still pretty much at its high. So looking for lower prices makes complete sense because this is the price going high, and we have spiked through it. So we have technically some new major highs, but essentially we're still rejecting that same high. It's not like Bitcoin has flown back up again and really broke through that. So we're struggling at that same high. So technically, you would want to see price have a bit of a breather before you want to take it back up again. But yeah, it's up to the market at this point because we could come up again for another major high and struggle and then push back down again. I can definitely see that happening. If we're not going to break through that level, then we are going to come right back down. And the thing about Ethereum still having this area to test, I could see Ethereum rolling back over. I wouldn't be surprised at that. More. Oh wow, woke up -13. Okay, decided to switch over to gold. Um, well, I don't know. Well, if you held that position, would you be in profit right now? I mean, if you saw a better opportunity on gold, then it would make sense. I didn't do much over the weekend. Saw some friends, and then I watched England lose the final, unfortunately. It was tough watch, but it was a good run. It was a good run. I mean, the better team won. Spain were 100% the best team in the tournament. So if I was going to lose, if England were going to lose, it's to Spain. I mean, technically should have lost to Slovakia, to be honest. Basira. Hopefully, I'm saying that correctly. Euro USD. Okay, I'll take a look. Looking to buy after the breakout 1.09151. We'll take a look. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, if it wasn't doing what you expect to do, I mean, it has worked out. So I think you did make the correct decision, to be honest, in the end. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have much experience trading Bitcoin. Again, it's a pair that I do look at a lot. Same with the indices as well. But in terms of placing positions, execution, I only focus on FX really, and gold and silver. Anyway, let me take a look at Euro USD. Someone's talking about breakout and some buys. So yeah, I'm kind of looking at some situation, but I kind of want to see price take a breather first, because we've been really bullish over the past 2-3 days. Excuse me. Then you get that T down me more. So yeah, we get really nice bullish momentum over the past 2-3 days. So I'm looking for a breather. We've come back to major resistance, so I do think we can come back down, find some support around these areas. This is where we get a brief consolidation, really nice shift in momentum. I think this was CPI here. So what I'm looking for Euro USD is the correct retest and push on, and this is what I'm looking to buy. Also, if we do see a breakout, because we might not see that retracement, then this will become a nice area for a buy as well. But I'm pretty bullish on Euro USD. I think dollar's likely to keep falling as well. So the confluences for me lie with dollar buyers, dollar bullishness. So I do expect higher prices. But yeah, my plan A would be that pullback there. But we'll see. Maybe price does break through, and then I'll readjust to that level. But I think there's a good chance we do pull back. So I will keep an eye on that going forward. But 1.09151, it's pretty much just a retest of that high there. Yeah, if you do see a strong break, that would naturally be a nice level for a retest. It's also a really nice daily level as well. So yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, I fully agree, Ben. I fully agree. I mean, Kane hasn't really had a good tournament. To be honest, England doesn't play to Kane's strength. Kane plays in teams where they smother possession and they play high up the pitch, Kane doesn't run in behind, but Watkins will do. So yeah, Watkins should have started. Palmer should have started 100%. But I think Southgate will be in charge for the next tournament, World Cup 2026. I don't know if that's set in stone, but I think it is. Gold entry was in 2000. I was at 2350, something like that. Okay, yeah. I mean that's a really nice run. I mean, what's gold trading at now? 2413. I'm looking to see if I can get into gold as well. It doesn't keep flying up. Okay, yeah. If I lose, I lose. Yeah, I mean that takes the discipline as well. Know when the trade hasn't gone to plan, when it hasn't played out, and take your losses and move on. No point trying to dwell on it. No trade is going to have completely green. You will take losses. It will happen. But the thing is just to focus on your plan, execute it, and stay disciplined. Lordo, yes, so we'll take a look at pound USD. Long bias, but still waiting. Yep, join the club. I'm long bias and still waiting as well. It's been very bullish, very bullish. And I'm waiting for a pullback. So yeah, I'll go through pound USD as well. No problem. Happy to help. Keep an eye on it. What do you think about the news today? Yeah, I touched upon the news. What we had we have a Powell speech at 5:30 UK time in the evening. We've got New York Empire State Manufacturing Index at 1:30. So I don't really have an opinion on that. To be honest, it's not really a news event I'll focus on. Sure, it might move the market a little bit, but I think I'll just focus on the technicals as I always do, and then if the market does react to it, then I'll see how candles close, and then I'll digest that information. But it's not really a news event which I'll focus on too much, to be honest. I think the power one, we might see the movement there. Of course, we'll only find out when he starts speaking. But in terms of the one at 1:30, not really worrying me too much. So I'm bearish on dollar. That's my outlook, and I'm going to keep that bias as long as things keep shaping up how they are shaping up. Yeah, that's true. The high alpha, I have no idea. Yeah, really, we shouldn't have beat Slovakia. England shouldn't have beat Slovakia. We should be out around the 16. How England made it to the finals, no idea. Okay, so where was I? Pound USD. So yeah, pound USD. Very bullish on this one. Massive breakout last week. And I think we're only just getting started, really. I'm looking at a swing all the way back to the high here at 1.31. So for me, there is a lot of upside for pound. And especially looking at the weekly chart, this is a really nice candle closure, really showing momentum, really showing confidence in that move. And this here was a massive fake out a few months ago, back in April. And now to me, this is price now seeing the follow through. We've had our fake out, and now we're seeing the follow through. So the next major level of resistance would be this high. So as long as we don't come back inside the range, I'm just expecting us to head over there. So the plan is pretty simple. Looking at pullbacks all the way up to 1.31. At least want to see retracements to these areas here. Even a retest of the high there would be nice as well. But I want to see pullbacks for pound. And yeah, and that's what we're talking about the waiting bit. Waiting for price to pull back. Did not mean to do that. Even a retest of this area would be nice, but I don't think we'll pull back that far. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on it, but these are the two areas which are reasonable, which we should see retracements to. So yeah, pound USD looking really bullish to me, looking at 1.31. Hope you can find some pullbacks this week. But yeah, pound USD is definitely the pair at the top of my watch list, along with silver and gold. Long gold, long euro, long pound is my buys for this week. Yep, I'm with you on that one, Ben. Long gold, long silver, long euro, long pound, short dollar. That's my bias. Pound CHF for coming weeks and months. Yeah, we could be seeing a big breakout for that one. I've been looking at the CHF pairs. Some look a bit more bullish than others. Pound CHF does look like we could be starting a newfound bullish trend. This descending structure looks like it has met its match, and now price is doing it in the opposite direction now. So we could be seeing price really continue for a while. I'm looking at the higher time frames as well, because we've had a really massive drop. I think this was COVID. No, that was not COVID. That was COVID. This was when pound fell off a cliff back in 2022, and when pound and dollar hit. Did they hit parity? I think they did, or almost hit parity. But yeah, pound fell off a cliff here and create the new all-time low. So now we could be in our next pullback phase, as we have been for a while. Yeah, pull back there, pull back there, pull back there. Yeah, this could be our next pullback phase. So there's a lot of room for us to retrace. Potentially back to this kind of area here. So I do like that idea. I think we can at least see a pullback to this area, and that could be a nice buy. Maybe some point this week. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if I'm looking to trade gold, I'm only looking to buy it. But I do agree with that more. But yeah, if I'm looking to trade gold, especially at this time, I'm only looking to buy. Again, I understand people in the low time frames scalping, looking for quick day trades. Of course, there will be some good selling opportunities, but the sells most likely just short term. No problem, Lord. I'm happy to help with GU. Okay, Euro Pound, we will take a look at as well. Pull back 0.84320. I'm trendline to okay. CAD Yen, Amar Sana. We'll take a look at CAD Yen as well. So with Euro Pound. So yeah, Euro Pound has been very bearish. We've seen some really nice downsides, taken out some kilos as well. So I do like what I'm seeing with Euro Pound, and I do think we can see more downside. I was talking about a pullback to this area here over the weekend, around 0.844 as a smart place for a sell. You're looking at 0.8432, which is pretty much just the low of this area here. So we're looking at pretty much the same area. And I like that because it was strong support, never really had a retest on the break. And we're looking for that next lower high. So I would keep an eye on that area for short and a swing back to the prior low, because there is a lot of momentum right now with Euro Pound, and we've had a really nice retest off that high around 0.85. So yeah, if the trend wants to continue, I would expect to see a reaction. Might not get back to the low, but at least you can position yourself long and maybe book some profits and see how far we can go. But I would expect more downside for Euro Pound. Okay, no problem. More. Have a good one, my man. I appreciate you coming on and helping out. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, man. Take care. Okay, so I'll take a look at CAD Yen. Anything else on your watch list? Week, any other interesting look? Yeah, let me go through CAD Yen and I'll wrap it up with my watch list. So yeah, with CAD Yen is actually a pair on my watch list. I'm looking to buy this one. It has come back to a nice area of confluence. The daily chart has got this long-term standing trend line. So if I just sharpen it up a little bit, as we can see, 1, 2, 3. Can you see that? Yes, you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, and potentially 5 over here as we approach that prior resistance there, which now will return support. So we come into a really nice area, really nice area where we can find support, potentially see another higher low, and potentially start pushing back up again. So I like CAD Yen, and Dollar Yen is a similar situation, which I'll go through shortly because I'll go through my watch list in a second. But a really nice area here where we can find some high lows and probably a push on. And what I'm looking for in terms of entries, because a lot of the yen pairs right now are kind of just moving sideways. What I want to see from CAD yen is a push down, maybe some more wicks like we did over here. Really nice wick, really nice wick, really nice wick. Can we do that again? Maybe give me a nice bullish engulfing, and then I'll look for my entries to try and push it higher. But that's kind of what I'm looking for in terms of an entry to get into the trade. Dollar yen, similar thing as well. Really nice wicks over here. 1, 2. Looking for another one as we're in this range. Don't want to buy in there. Not enough momentum. And then hopefully I can find a nice buy. But again, if I go to the 4 hour, actually, if I go to the daily, you can see prices come back into the swing high here as well. So equally a really nice level of support. And going on to the daily chart, we've got this long-term standing trend line, which prices just come back into there as well. So very similar situation, both yen pairs, just seeing whichever gives me the better entry, and then I will attack that one. So in terms of my watch list, dollar yen buys, CAD yen buys, pound USD buys on the pullback, Aussie dollar buys on the pullback. Euro USD, I like, but pound USD and Aussie dollar looks a lot better. So I think I'll just focus on those two. Silver looks really good. I'm looking for silver to have one more drop lower and then a buy. On the hourly time frame, we had a really nice sell-off last week. Now price is kind of just correcting a little bit. So what I want to see happen is one more push down, and then hopefully some buys on a retest of some structure, which if I go to the 4 hour, would be this high here. So I think we can come back, retest that, see a higher low, and be on our way. Almost lines up with the 50 there. So that's my area of confidence for silver. Euro CAD, I like the buys of this one. We're broken through a really nice level of resistance last week there, around 1.476. The market's kind of in a slow upwards trend. You can probably argue that's consolidation, and I probably would agree with you, to be honest, but there is some slight higher lows. I'm looking at this as a big fake out. So 1, 2, 3. So I'm looking for price to come back to resistance and eventually this swing high there as well. So for me, I'm just looking for buys for EuroCAD on some pullbacks. And these couple areas I'm looking to buy from. Pound NZD, still looking for a buy for this one, but it's been so bullish, similar to Pound USD as well. But it's hit that first target, which I had in the daily chart. Now I will be looking at the second one and the ultimate one, which is back at the swing high. So I'm looking at pullbacks on the way to that level there. Don't really have a clear-cut level which I'm buying from. I mean, I would buy from this area, but the breakout needs to be a bit bigger before I consider that. But I'll wait to see how things develop. But I am looking for buys for Pound NZD. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Euro CHF, keep an eye on it. I don't like it as much as the other pairs I just discussed, but it's still a nice area for a short. But again, I think with the CHF pairs, it's going to be a shorter term move down, just a bit more of a breather, a pullback. And then I feel like we're going to see a bigger move up for Euro CHF. So it might be a good shorter term sell, but I think longer term, the buyers will have a bit more success. So yeah, the ones I like: Pound NZD longs, EuroCAD longs, silver longs, Euro USD looks okay, but Aussie dollar longs, Pound USD longs, CAD yen longs, and dollar yen longs. A lot of longs here. A lot of longs. Just realized. Yeah, I think that comes from the risk on environment, looking at dollar weakness. That's my kind of bias, which I'm going with. So yeah, a lot more dollar weakness, a lot more upside on commodities, indices, crypto, and these FX majors. What's up, Holy One in Israel? Better late than never, mate. Better late than never. But of course, we'll be live every day this week, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. I'm trying out some new software as well. I'm streaming on a second channel on my Elevating Traders YouTube channel as well. So yeah, I am testing out some new software, which why things might look a little bit different. I only switched over the weekend, so I'm still learning the trade to see how things work and stuff. Because I can put messages out like that, which I couldn't do before, but now I can. So that's pretty cool. And there's a bunch of stuff I can do as well, but I just haven't figured it out yet. So this next week, be prepared for some experimentation, maybe some weird streams coming along as I figure some stuff out. And then, yeah, I can make a full chart as well. Oh, no, that's not a full chart. Yeah, that'll be a full chart there. That's me gone. And then I'm back. So, yeah, I've got some homework to do with that. But, yeah, in terms of the Discord link, I think people said expired. So I will quickly try and post a new link. If not, if you're not in the Telegram group, in fact, let me post the link to the Telegram. So this is the link to the Telegram, which will have a link to the Discord. I'm closing that group, but the Discord is where I'm moving things towards. So make sure you go check out the Discord. We'll be discussing ideas there. I'll be asking questions, trying to get information out of you guys, sharing my ideas as well there. So make sure you go check it out if you want to stay in the loop of things. But yeah, guys, we have come up to the end of the stream. I do appreciate everyone who has tuned in, commented, chat with me, like the stream. It does really help out. If you haven't liked the stream, then what are you waiting for? If you have enjoyed it, found it useful, please be sure to drop a like on the stream. It does really help out. And make sure you subscribe to both channels as well, Elevating Traders and, of course, my channel, Miko Aldu. Make sure you subscribe to both of them. I do really appreciate it. But, guys, of course, I will be live tomorrow as well. So make sure you're there. Be there, be square. Thank you to my moderators as well for helping out. Really do appreciate that. And, of course, guys, have a fantastic day. If I do have any trades, I'll share it with the Discord and I'll share it with the Telegram as well. So make sure you're there to not miss out on anything. Aside from that, have a fantastic day, guys, and I'll catch you all in the next stream.